Good afternoon, everyone. Look at this lovely little location I found with a bike in the windmill. Look at that, treating you. That looks pretty sick, to be fair. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, there's a couple of things I've been seeing on like Instagram and stuff where it's like 5 things you shouldn't be doing on a bike, and like where it's like 4-finger using on the clutch, or 4 fingers on the brake, or like resting your heels on the foot pegs and stuff like that. So I thought we'd just go through them and sort of confirm whether they are a load of bollocks or they are things you should avoid, and we'll turn it into a little 5 things. I don't even know what I titled it, something clickbaity. 5 things you shouldn't be doing on a motorbike, or I don't know. We're just going to go through them and talk about them, and I'll let you know what I think of them. Because I definitely do some of them that people have said don't do, and I definitely do it, and I think it's fine. Let's jump on the bike and go for a little ride, and let's get into it, shall we? It is like very hot today. The sun's not even directly out, thank God, because if it was, it would be unbearable. It's like 24 degrees. Don't get wrong. Oh, fuck, I burped. Don't get wrong, I'm not moaning, because I'd be moaning if it was raining, so I'm glad it is. It's just bloody hot when you're not riding around. Also, I lost a bolt, look. I lost a bolt, and now this is just hanging. So I need to be careful of that. Right, yeah, let's talk about the first one, which is whether you should be using 4 fingers on your clutch and your brake, or 2 fingers. And as you're about to see when I pull off, I use 4. Look. Whee! And then if I'm about to brake, guess what? I use 4. And that's the most common one I see, is people being like, you shouldn't be using 4 fingers, you should be using 2. And for me, I've tried it, trust me. I have tried it for a long time, just using... I don't like it. I get it. It's quicker. You can keep your hand here instead of letting off and actually holding this. But one, my fingers get caught. So when I pull this in, my fingers get jammed. I know you're supposed to like maybe do this and lift it up and get your fingers out of the way. But then at that point, you might as well just put your fucking 2 fingers down on the bloody clutch. So when I do it, my fingers get caught. I don't find it that comfortable. But 2, I just don't really have that much feel when I do that. I don't have that much control, I feel like, on the clutch. Same with the brake. If I do 2 fingers on the brake, yeah, okay, cool, I can brake and slow down. But then if I need to really like start to slam on and really get that nice feel through the brake, I want to have all 4 fingers on, because I can really get that feeling of bringing that nice soft gentle push and bringing it right to a stop, like a little emergency stop. If I have 2 fingers and do that, the closer you get to having to put more force into it, the less sort of control I feel like I have on the actual brake. So for me, I'll do it again, clutch, 4 fingers. It's more comfortable for me. I don't know, I don't really see the big deal. I don't think it's going to affect my riding at all. I think it's just a personal preference thing, to be honest. But I do see a lot of people saying you shouldn't be doing 4 fingers, like it's bad for you. What's it going to do? What am I going to do? Nothing's going to happen. I'm using 4 fingers, and I think you should do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm just going to tell you, if you like using 2 fingers, do it. If you like using 4 fingers, do it. You'll see people on the track doing both. It's really not that big a deal, I don't think. The next one is a big deal, and that is dragging your toes on your foot pegs. So, no, that's the wrong way to say it. Resting your heels on your foot pegs instead of your toes. So, I can't really show you, but do I have to get off the bike to show you? No, I'm not doing that. I'll find a video somewhere and I'll put it on the screen. I can't bother to stop. You should get what I'm on about. Right now, my toes are on the foot peg. I can probably just show you. If I put my... Yeah, Jesus Christ, I didn't plan this video out very well, did I? Other people would have all these crazy camera angles. I can't be arsed. This is my toes on the peg. Oh, that's my toe on the back brake. Let me hold the front brake. Toes on the pegs. Heels on the pegs. Toes on the pegs. Heels on the pegs. So that's what we're looking at when I'm talking about it, right? So putting your heels on the pegs, well, now my toe is pointing towards the floor and is dragging towards the floor. And the dangerous thing about that is when you start getting more confident on a bike and you want to start swinging this bloody thing round. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to open my visor. Sorry about the audio, but it's a matter of life and death. I'm dying. If you drag your heels, when I'm leaning this bike, my toes are so much closer to the ground now, where there's a point where you could risk catching your toe on the floor, and then the bike carries on moving and your toe goes wha-bam underneath that foot peg, your heel's jamming it, and you're just going to snap your fucking foot. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, even on this corner, if I did my heels, look how close my foot is to the floor. That's sketchy business. Don't be doing that. Do not get in the habit of dragging your heels. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place. Sometimes when I'm doing a right turn, I'll have my right heel on the foot peg instead of my toe when I'm doing like a big right lean.
That's just something that I learned off of someone that does track days, and I sometimes do it, but barely ever. I've got my new mirrors, by the way, back to the square ones, but this one's distorted. If you look on the edge, it's actually warping it. I think the glass is broke. I don't really know. Either way, they're only 20 quid. I'll probably get some other ones. That's the wrong way, mate. Yeah, that's the wrong way up the roundabout. Yeah, do not drag your feet. Make sure your toes are on them pegs, especially when you're going around corners and sending it. If you're going through town in a straight line, I guess you could get away with it, but it's just a bad habit you don't want, alright? Don't be doing that. Next one. What is the next one? Oh yeah, full throttle. When you're full throttling it, and you're riding along, don't do this. Watch my wrist. Don't do this. And brake. And you're like this, and you're braking your wrist backwards. Grab more forwards on the accelerator, and wrap a bit more throttle around your hand when you know you're going to full throttle it. Hold on, just take this amazing corner. Bam! Grab a bit more throttle forwards, like here. Now when I full throttle it, my wrist is stable and it's actually straight compared to being benting up like this. Now my wrist is straight. I can actually almost let go of that full throttle and have really not a lot of weight, because you do not want a lot of weight when you're sending it on a bike in your wrists and in your hands, because you can get a little death wobble if you're gripping it like crazy. So what grabbing more throttle around the top of it helps with is not having your wrist in a position like when I'm full throttling it, I can't fucking control it if my hand's down here like this, because I'm in such an awkward position. And if I'm sending it and I'm all the way down here and my wrist is all the way underneath, it's just not going to work. Like, it's not going to work at all. It's going to be so uncomfortable and so just not very controlled. Oh, they've actually fixed the potholes here. Well done. So yeah, definitely when you're going to full throttle it, make sure you grab more throttle forward, so that when you do send it, look where my wrist is. My wrist is flat. A lot more control there. It's a good habit you want to start getting into. So that one I do agree with. What? Look at that. You wouldn't see that around Wales, mate. Coming back here, it's a fucking road hazard everywhere you go. Roads are so shit around this area. What was the other one? Oh yeah, the next one is body position. And I'm actually going to have to get off the bike so you can see this one. So I'm going to use this bin as my stability point. Everyone's going to think I'm a right fucking weirdo, but I don't care. So I'll take my helmet off for you, and I'm going to show you the body positioning that I'm on about. There's two body positions on a bike. This is number one. And it's this here, like that. You have bodies like this, and you're going to bend over like this. The second one is this. It looks a bit bait, like this. I know it looks a bit zesty, that second one, but trust me, it is one of those things that people do where they sort of arch their back and they're like not fully in the position for riding. It's kind of like a relaxed more, don't get me wrong, it's not, it's one of those things, it's not a, I don't know, is it a bad thing? I don't really know. It's just one of the ones I keep seeing on the videos, and I was thinking about what I do, and now I'm stuck in the grass. It looks like I've crashed. I sent it too deep. No, I didn't. Quick. No! I stalled! No! How embarrassing. That car was just watching me. Yeah, so right now I'm in that number one position, because I'm on the bike, I'm controlled. I'm not sat like this, all relaxed. My wrists are bent down, my back is arched. If something happens, I'm like, oh quick, get back into this control position. Here, a little bit more hunched over and a little bit more in the fucking bike, because now I've got control. If I'm sat up like this, I could barely fucking control this thing. I'm on top of it, and it's sort of, I'm moving it on top, whereas when I'm like more hunched over, well, now I'm connected with the bike. Look at that fucking pothole. Now I'm more like connected with the bike. He didn't even try and stop. And I've got a lot more control because I'm like one with the machine, instead of just being sat on it like a bloody, I don't even know, in this zesty position, arching your back and just not really in tune with it. All right, so that's one that it's not really that big a deal, I guess, but I just thought I'd talk about it because that's one of the ones I keep seeing on the videos as well, is body positioning. Just probably make sure you're a bit more hunched over and you've got a bit more control on the old bike. No worries, love. No worries. What was the other one? So we've done 4 fingers, we've done foot position, that's 2, we've done arching your back, and we've done, I don't know, let me check my phone while being pulled over. Oh, that was it. I just checked my phone, that was it. That was all of them. So I guess I'll do my own one, which I really like since I've been doing it, since I started riding, is rev matching. I do think that that's a skill that actually does help you a lot, because normal downshifting really does imbalance the bike, like quite a lot, especially when you're coming into corners quite hot and there's something coming up. Don't get me wrong, you can use the benefit of it for engine braking without rev matching, because you get that engine brake, but overall smoothness of riding and sort of more control over the stability of the bike coming into corners and stuff, being up in a gear like this, and then instead of just doing this, so clutch in, foot down, clutch out, engine brake, and obviously I'm in the lower gear, I'll go up into the high gear and I just do this instead. So I'm here and I've maintained the exact same speed, there's no engine braking, there's no shift of weight on the suspension, but I'm now in a lower gear and ready to go. It's one of those things that really does start to help you have a little bit more of a smoother riding style, and just gives you a bit more control, especially if you've got a passenger, because it avoids that engine braking. But then don't get me wrong, there has been times where I've needed to come to a very quick stop and I've used engine braking to also help me with braking as well. I'd rather use the engine braking more than I would slamming a load of front brake. You can merge the two together and get a nice stop. They're the 5 things that, whatever I titled the video, that you should do or shouldn't do, I don't know, something to get you to watch. But some of them are controversial, some of them are personal preference, some of them are big no-nos, and you should do the one that I said. I've only been riding for 8 months, so who am I? I'm no fucking professional, but it's definitely helped me. Either way, hopefully that helped. Hopefully you enjoyed. What the hell is this car? What the fuck is that? Yeah, good times. Ride safe, subscribe, and I'll see you later.